These days, most of the new little action cameras have some form of time-lapse or hyperlapse feature built into their menu. Today we're going to look at similar time-lapse footage from 5 different cameras, all with about the same settings and the same subject, the clouds. Let's see if the time-lapse footage changes much between the cameras. I recorded time-lapse footage from different days with the 5 different cameras to mix it up. The following examples are from the new DJI Action 2, the new GoPro 10, the older Osmo Action, the original Osmo Pocket, and we threw in a mirrorless camera, the Sony a6400 with a more advanced image processor, just to see if it produces more superior results. Let's check out the amazing results that came out of these powerful little cameras. Some notes that might be important to mention are the DJI Action 2 did not overheat while processing an hour-long time-lapse. Of course, it was pretty cool outside. And the GoPro 10 didn't freeze up. With that being mentioned, the DJI cameras and the GoPro 10 all offer about the same menu features for the time-lapse mode. You can select the interval time, duration settings, color mode, shutter speed, etc. DJI has a couple preset time-lapse modes labeled sunset and clouds, but you're stuck with the interval time and duration that they give you. GoPro has a great night-lapse mode that you can customize or use their suggested settings. They also have a new feature called scheduled capture that lets you program a time-lapse and schedule it to run at a certain time of day or night. You can basically put your camera in place and have it run a time-lapse while you're sleeping. Very cool. The Osmo Pocket has a feature that none of the other cameras have, and that's a motion time-lapse. You may have noticed in the samples how the camera panned across the scene while the time-lapse was playing. This is a great looking effect to add to your time-lapse that you're not going to get from the other cameras unless you purchase a slider. With the Sony a6400, you need to go into the menu and turn on interval shooting, and then you can set the duration. This is going to produce about 2,000 still images on your SD card that you need to bring into a program like Sony's Imaging Edge to create your time-lapse. In the end, all these cameras turned out some pretty impressive time-lapses. Even the original little Osmo Pocket looked great. They all have their own little pros and cons, but nothing that's going to really win one over from the other, as far as time-lapse feature goes. So whichever camera you have, start aiming it at the sky and see what you come up with. You might capture some pretty awesome cloud formations, or maybe even catch some UFOs. Let us know your thoughts on any of these cameras and their time-lapse feature down below. Till then, we'll see you again in the great digital outdoors.